you're going to have to bear with me. Some of the grandkids came down with a bug, and they obviously passed it on to me. So I'm going to try to struggle through this. My question is this: how many Russian agents or Russian assets does it take in order for us to arrive at the conclusion that the Donald Trump campaign was in cahoots with the Russians? Now, we already know that Mike Flynn was a Turkish asset overtly, all right, because he had to retroactively go in and register as a representative of the Turkish government. So all the while that he was working in the United States government, he was operating illegally, and he may be subject to prosecution. He also was working with the Russians, whether overtly or covertly. They were giving this guy perks and cash. Now, he obviously worked for some of the cash and some of the perks. What he had to do for the rest of the cash and the rest of the perks, I don't know, neither do you. That is yet to be determined. But he definitely was what I would call a Russian asset. Now you have this guy, Carter Page. He, as you can see here, was being monitored by the FBI because of his close association with Russian spies. And documentation has just come out that he was consciously passing information. Now, I don't know whether it was legal or illegal information, but it was information regarding the energy industries to Russian spies, and they openly called him an asset. Now, whether wittingly or unwittingly, that's for you to decide. But again, there's, you're tied to Russia. Now, here's your third one. It's just been released that Paul Manafort's firm received money from a Ukraine account, which also was tied to the Russians. Now, this is old news. This came out about 3 or 4 months ago, and Mr. Manafort vehemently denied taking any money from this particular source. But guess what? They have tied the handwritten ledger that they found after they ousted the former president of the Ukraine. They tied that particular ledger to actual cash payments to the accounts of Mr. Manafort. One of the payments was in 2007, another payment was in 2009. The total amount of the payments was approximately $1.2 million. Okay, so they have absolutely confirmed 2 of those payments, and it's just going to be a question of time before they confirm more. And that's why Manafort jettisoned from the Trump campaign as quickly as he did, because right at that time was when those ledgers came out. So now you got 3 guys who, without a doubt, have ties to Russia. Now, I'm not even counting, okay, I'm not even counting Jeff Sessions and the communications of Kushner, which is Trump's son-in-law, with the Russians, where they snuck the Russians into Trump Towers through a side door while nobody was looking. I'm not even counting those. Okay, but I just want to know, when What is the number where people will finally start saying, you know something, there looks to be a little fire here. We saw all the smoke, but I think we're starting to see some flames here. It's just going to be a question of time before they tie all of these guys in. Just a question of time. And when that time comes, there's going to be a lot of people shaking their heads. Now, we obviously know that they're not going to impeach Trump over this. You know, what's done is done, especially if it's, 2 or more years into his administration. They're probably going to try to sanction him or whatever, but there won't be any impeachment over this because we'll be too far down the road. But it's coming. It's just, as I stated, a question of when.